Our guest today says get ready for the long-term bull gold cycle. He says that you shouldn't be surprised if gold could actually move several $100s higher. Gerald Celente, publisher of the Trends Journal, joins me now. Gerald, it's been too long. Welcome back. What a summer it's been.
Yes, it has.
Well, let's talk about what we're seeing here. In your latest journal report, you wrote that your 6-year gold forecast is now above 2,000 an ounce.
That's right. As you well know, my being on your show for many years is that I haven't been bullish on gold for a long time. And then on June 6th, we sent out a trend alert to our subscribers announcing the gold bull run. Gold was $1,332 an ounce then. When it broke over the $1,325 mark and stayed there a bit, I said, this is the beginning. Now it's going to go. The next breakout point I gave was 1385 when we sent out that alert. And by the way, it's also the cover of the current Trends Journal, the Gold Bull Run. The next breakout point had to be $1,450. I believe when it breaks beyond that, it's going to spike toward the 2,000 mark. And it's very simple. The whole world, every central bankster, you name the place, whether it's Australia going into record low interest rates, the European Central Bank talking about now going into minus 0.5 negative rates. We just heard from the governor of the Bank of Japan saying more stimulus and more bond buying. So when you see what's happening, they're all lowering interest rates around the world to keep pumping more monetary methadone to keep that fake bull running, the addicted bull, I should say. So that's why we're saying gold is only going to go up because currencies around the world are just going to get weaker.
And Gerald, we are seeing, billionaires like Ray Dalio coming out in support of gold. He said that stocks would likely face diminishing returns, and those that will most likely do best will be investors prepared for money depreciation and international conflicts. So for you, gold is the answer?
Yes. Again, I don't give financial advice. I'm a trend forecaster. We're also forecasting the Greatest Depression, and we believe it will hit after the 2020 presidential reality show is over. A primary reason why we also forecast the gold bull run is that the Federal Reserve is going to continually lower interest rates throughout this year and next. And they needed to keep the markets going. You're looking at the data coming in, new mortgage applications, you name it, even with interest rates going down, so too new mortgage applications. So they're going to do everything they can to keep propping up the equity markets. And we all know that watch this and have no, not tied to any political party or one-dimensional thinking, is that this debt bubble that's now well over $250 trillion is going to burst. There's not a lot of juice left in the monetary methadone. The United States is one of the few countries that could lower rates. The other ones are in negative territory or near it. So that's why we're saying the gold bull run is real. And as again, when it breaks over $1,450 an ounce, that's our breakout point for it to spike, moving up toward the 2,000 range and above.
And Gerald, how are you exposed to gold? Are you buying physical? Are you in the mining stocks? Are you in ETFs?
ETFs, because I'm an old cat and I got to put my money in retirement accounts. And I've also been buying physical since 1978 when I first started buying gold.
Do you like any other precious metals outside of gold? What about silver? A lot of talk about how this could really be an explosive move as well.
Well, silver usually follows gold. I mean, it may be different this time, but remember, one of the reasons why gold is going up is because the global economy is going down, and the banksters are going to do everything they can to juice it up. So why is the global economy going down? It has nothing to do with trade wars. That's a lot of baloney. That's only talk. When you look at all the tariffs that Trump put on China, it's only adds up to 0.6% of their GDP. I mention that because silver is also used in production. So if things really slow down, and silver's not used in a lot of manufacturing and other usage, that could put a little, that puts a little bit of downward pressure on it. But I believe gold leads the charge and silver follows.
And do you think that the central banks, especially Russia, which keeps adding to its gold reserves, is aware of this? What do you make of countries such as Russia adding to their reserves right now? Is there something there?
There's a lot there because go back to 2018, which is in ancient history. We're only in July of 2019. Central banks bought more gold than they have in 50 years. So they know it's up. Look, you mentioned Ray Dalio. I mean, here's the guy that's the head of the largest hedge fund in the world, the founder and the head of it, coming out and talking about gold. I remember when they wouldn't even follow gold on the major networks. And now you have the head of the biggest hedge fund in the world saying, go gold.
Yeah. Finally, Gerald, I want to just get your thoughts. A lot of talk and debates about what's a better asset, gold versus Bitcoin. Any thoughts on that?
Bitcoin's going to follow, I believe. But again, people are getting into this because they're seeing their fiat currencies go worthless. Oh, and there's one other element that's very important to talk about. And that's with the tensions heating up against Iran. Mm-hmm. And, I launched Occupy Peace. So just to make it clear, I'm against all these foreign entanglements. Iran isn't Iraq. It's not Libya. It's not Syria. These are the Persians. They've been around a long time. The reason Trump didn't attack Iran after they shot down that drone, and that was no baby drone, that was a very sophisticated $100 million to $200 million drone, is because the Straits of Hormuz would have been Pearl Harbor. What I'm saying is that if this keeps escalating, wars against Iran, and you see oil prices spike above $100 a barrel, kiss the global economy goodbye and kiss the equity markets goodbye.
So Gerald, do you see the chances of a real war erupting in the Middle East? Is that very real to you?
Yes, it's very real. We've been writing about this. It was one of our top trends for 2018. It was called market shock mass murder, that the markets would go down if the United States, Israel, and Saudi Arabia kept this going on against Iran. You heard President Trump come out and say, Iran is the worst terrorist country in the world. F you, Trump. No, they're not. They didn't attack, they didn't overthrow Libya, they didn't do Syria, they haven't overthrown Afghanistan. Take a trip down to Nicaragua. You loved what the United States did in Chile. Who is the worst terrorist group? No, they're setting this thing up. And when you have people that we are actually listening to with the brain the size of Bolton and Pompeo, we're in trouble. So what I'm saying is when all else fails, they take you to war. And what you have in Israel is Netanyahu failing to put together a government because he wants a new government with a clause that he won't be brought up on charges for corruption allegations that he has. He can't form a government. So again, this is the guy that brought the phony little cartoon bomb into the UN in 2012, and that was Iran's nuclear bomb. So what I'm saying is if things keep heating up and the people in power keep needing pressure to change things and directions for whatever mental derangement they have in their minds, this could blow up against Iran. And Iran is not going to put up with being attacked.
All right.
Period, paragraph.
Gerald, thank you always. So just getting back to my Bitcoin versus gold point, though. There's room for both.
Yes.
All right. Gerald Celente. Always appreciate your passionate thoughts and catching up with you. Thank you so much for joining us.
And thank you.
And thank you for watching. We will be back next time.